Aloha and welcome to another super fun episode of Today. It's the Magical Creature Sketch Artist is back for this week's installment. And for those of you just joining in and just hearing about the Magical Creature Sketch Artist, so at Unicorn Square I enjoy sewing super awesome fairies, and I am a zero waste artist, so all of these little garlands hanging are remnants from my sewing. So I use every single piece of fabric. I have my fairy gratitude tree, speaking of which I will be adding my gratitude today, and then I sew super fun fairies. Now, where the magic, so these are my talents, right? Hello fairy. Oh, I just love this one. It's so much fun. So my talents are in sewing and creating. Now my dad, aka the Magical Creature Sketch Artist, is super amazing at drawing. And while I am spending time at Unicorn Square, I have discovered many animals and creatures that I have in my head that I am unable at this current time to draw myself or turn into a sewn animal. So that is where my dad came in, which is super awesome because he's an incredibly talented artist. And when I was a kid, he used to draw the banana split gang on my wall. It was huge. It was this great mural. It was so cool. And then he would do all of the like Donald Duck, and he would do the voice and all kinds of fun things. And he always drew the best characters. And then he moved into a lot of fish. He loves to draw fish and flies because he's a fisherman. And now he has been on a mission, and he's making so many awesome drawings and creating so many awesome drawings of animals that I've seen in my travels and at Unicorn Square. And I believe every animal has a message. If you really pay attention to nature, they all, at the perfect timing, they come to deliver a message to you. Whether it's in the air, it's on the land, it's in the ocean, every single animal, they have a message exactly for you. And it's really good to pay attention to it. So I talk to my dad and tell him the stories of all the animals, and he draws them for me. And today we have a super awesome one, because this one actually came to me in a dream, which is super cool. And it is, I'm a huge fan, it is the blue-winged owl. Ooh. And so this blue-winged owl, I had this dream that I was in a car on top of a mountain, which is like every time I go to explain it, this is the first time I'm actually saying this to anyone in great detail, so it's very interesting. And as my co-pilot hanging out was a blue-winged owl. It was really wild. So I love the blue-winged owl. Now, whenever I see an owl, and so my dad drew it, and I think it's so awesome. It's got a little bit of shadows here, but I'll add in some of the artwork in the show at the end here. And so he drew this for me. Now, the blue-winged owl, it was a super awesome dream. It was really wild. I woke up and I go, I was hanging out with the blue-winged owl. How about that? And whenever I see an owl in nature, I always find that whenever I see it, and it was very specific times, and I can remember exact changes or decisions that were being made, that an owl flew into my life. And so I was like, ooh, change is coming. And that's how I always looked at it, as transformation. Whenever I see an owl, it's really cool because I don't see one all the time. And whenever I do, it definitely led to like, whoa, how about that? Big changes. And so the owl, I like to say it's It reminds you to listen to your inner voice and your intuition, and for signs that will guide you forward. Ooh, and the owl has got a lot of wisdom, and I think it is reminding you that you have a lot of wisdom within yourself as well. And also, you have the ability to adapt to any changing circumstances or surroundings, and I think it's more like you're more powerful than you know, and the owl reminds you of that. And then the other part I love about the owl is that it sits very quietly observing, right? And so I think it reminds you to be still and observe your surroundings and quiet down all the loudness in your life, so that you can really dial into your own inner wisdom and intuition before making big moves. And so those are the messages that I always like to get from the owls. Now, where the blue wings come in, I have no idea, but I love it. And I'm always like, there's a blue-winged owl hanging out as my co-pilot. And it's very interesting. I looked up blue-winged owls on the internet, and there's these blue avians. That wasn't the pictures they have on the internet. That wasn't who was hanging with me exactly like those, but those could be other interpretations. I don't know. But I keep looking and seeing and kind of reflecting on it. Not like I'm obsessing over it, but it's very interesting. I just like to think that it brings a positive, like change is coming. Don't be afraid of change. Change is good, and use your wisdom and intuition to accept that change in your life, which I think is really kind of exciting. So that's today's magical creature sketch artist. So what I do next is I transfer the image that my dad has created, and I add it to a color changing mug because I find them to be incredibly magical. They start out all black, and then as you pour in hot beverages, it reveals the magic of the artwork and the fun message. And so today's message is going to be something along the lines of trusting your intuition and your own inner wisdom. What's up, Blue Wing Owl? That's so cool. And so for today's gratitude tree, we're going to add in our little gratitude of the day, because I like to add these to the tree. And for today, we're going to go and say, thank you, mahalo, Blue Winged Owl, for your wisdom and for sharing. Mahalo, Blue Winged, I'm writing it down, Blue Winged Owl, for sharing your wisdom, reminding me to trust my own. To trust my own. Ooh, I appreciate that very much. And I'd also like to say thank you, all animals, land and sea and air, for your very valuable messages. It makes it fun. I'm just gonna say it makes it fun, almost like I'm in my own video game. Like you find these little like power up buttons, and I think those are the messages from the animals. Awesome. So there we go. Those are my gratitudes of the day. We gotta hang it on the tree. This is exciting. Oh, I'm running out of room. I'm gonna hang it right there. Please don't fall. Thank you, Fairy Gratitude. I hid the sign. I love my Fairy Gratitude tree. It's huge and awesome. I had one. It's really fun. Just to recap, I had one on my tree outside. They can withstand, the Fairy Gratitude tree signs can withstand light rain. Hurricanes, no. Big winds, your gratitudes fly off on the tree. And at first I was really bummed out because I was like, oh man, now I have to start all over again being grateful for everything. Which I was like, oh, that's not a bad thing. It's all right. You can always start over being grateful for everything, and you can have redos and different things. Like what I was grateful for yesterday, I'm certainly, like, it's awesome that I could still be grateful for it today. So that's really awesome. And so then, because it is winter here where I am this year in Unicorn Square, because I thought it'd be fun to hang out with the fairies in winter and with my dad, the magical creature sketch artist. This has been such a super fun, awesome project. And so I have my indoor Fairy Gratitude tree. And so I really like it. It's been so much fun. And I'm also, it's a Christmas tree. And so I'm thinking why not? Why do you have to put it away? Why can't you just turn it into an indoor fairy gratitude tree and have it up? Because I think it's awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. And then to recap for today, I have a couple of fairies heading out. We have this super awesome, oh, this one's so great. This is a super fun healing fairy heading out with a amethyst heart, clear quartz heart, and a red jasper for courage. Those are heading out. This one's heading out today. And then we also have this guy right here, which is a super awesome unconditional love between a mother and a child, and it has pink agate and a rose quartz heart. And then we had the prosperity fairy from yesterday. This one I am getting ready to box up today, and this one's heading out as well, and it has pyrite and citrine and a green aventurine. So that one's awesome for prosperity. So and then I have a bunch of others that are going out. This one's going to be going out from a grandmother to a granddaughter on the way, because the wings are removable, and so it's safe for little kids because there's nothing that comes off. And so this one's heading out, and it's also going to have pink agate and rose quartz inside of it. And so it's been super fun, and that's it. So if you enjoyed today's video, like, share, subscribe. It's all right, like down there, I guess. And then you can follow, all the links are there for my website, for the color changing mugs, and also you can comment. That's always super welcomed. You can also send a request for any animals that you would like to see that have magically flown into your life or entered your life, because we take magical creature requests, because that would be kind of awesome. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you very much for joining along. Have a super awesome day, and sending you so much aloha.